connection to yourself and knowing who you truly are, that's the biggest help you can do for yourself in life. Because when you know who you are, then despite the circumstances, you know what's your path, because paths are different. And like, yeah, sometimes when we look at other people and you're like, oh my god, like why I'm not doing that, or why I'm not doing this, or maybe I should try this. And like it brings like a lot of confusion and also this like hectic movements. But when you start from who you are, right, again, like I'm referring to at least meditating and like finding yourself rooted in like in yourself, if I can phrase it so. Yeah, so then when you look at others, when you look at circumstances, you don't feel confused. You know that, like, okay, wait, this is exciting, this is cool, that's really inspiring, but this is not my path. I know my path and I keep walking it.
This is By Joyan Season 2. I'm your host, Joyan Chan, and every Wednesday we bring you inspiring stories, powerful message, and fun conversations with me and my special guests and friends, and it's my personal mission to empower you to live and lead a life with joy. This podcast is for you if you're looking for more joy, courage, passion, and purpose in your life. Now let's dive into today's episode and get ready to laugh, learn, and live your life to the fullest. Welcome to the very first episode of 2026 on Find Joy with Joyan. And I couldn't think of a better way to kickstart the year than with a returning guest who is here to guide us through what is ahead. So joining me today is none other than Sasha, an astrologer and numerologist who has been helping people align with their true selves and navigate life with clarity and purpose since 2018. Sasha's journey into the spiritual path began during a challenging time in her life, and through astrology and numerology, she found the inspiration, acceptance, and confidence to transform her own path. And now she's passionate about helping others do the same. Today, she's here to give us the 2026 astrology forecast, the cosmic insights, the energies, and opportunities that can guide us this year. So whether you are curious, excited, or just looking for some clarity and insights, this episode is for you. So now let's dive in and see what the universe has in store for all of us this year. Sasha, I'm so glad you are here again. Welcome back and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Joyan. And thank you so much for having me back. Thank you so much for bringing such a cool topic for the first episode. I'm like really grateful and very excited to talk about what is waiting for us ahead, because the year is gonna be a good year.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good to hear. That is good news. So now let's start with the big picture question then. From an astrological perspective, what is the overall theme, since you say it's going to be a good year? So what is the overall theme or energy of 2026?
In the beginning, I thought it's a hard question to like really highlight just like one topic, because there are so many different shifts. And compared to 2025, actually, like I would say, like 60% of energies they had shifted in 2025. So it's the continuation of those. But we will have like a really nice shift of Jupiter. And for 5 months, in the middle of the year, Jupiter is going to be in exaltation. In exaltation, it means at its strongest. And Jupiter is the planet which gives us both material and spiritual goodies, yeah, which brings us some expansion and like bonuses, so in material field and in spiritual development. So that is why I would say that 2026 will be much better than 2025 because of this Jupiter transit, which happens, by the way, once in 12 years. Yeah, yeah. So it is something to be excited about. It is something to look forward to. But if we're talking about the theme, I would say that 2025 was about learning new things. So everyone got really obsessed with AI technologies, like keeping up with like, okay, the world is changing so quickly. What should I do? Like how I can I don't know, develop myself so that I will stay in line with what's going on. So I would call it like a little bit of anxiety, a little bit of FOMO, a lot of learning, definitely. Yeah. And like revisiting, like the thinking, like what it is for me with this progress. Like, am I going with it or am I resisting it? So, like these kind of topics. But this year, I mean, like the beginning of the year, it will still continue this tendency. But in the middle of the year, I would say the topic will go more and deeper into connecting to your roots,
Mm.
connecting to who you are, where you come from. Yeah, instead of chasing technologies, people will start feeling like, okay, that's good, that's amazing. But how all this aligns with who I truly am? And who I truly am, yeah, it kind of unfolds in so many different dimensions in a way that, like, okay, first of all, yeah, like, okay, I'm a woman, right? And then, like, so this is my cultural code, and this is where I came from, and these are my values. So getting back to this, like, very basic things and finding strength in them and growing from you know, from being rooted within yourself instead of looking for something out there. Also, being rooted in communities. Yes, so relying on people, on those who adhere to you. Yeah, those who you love, who you want to care for. So I would say the shift is from like being super curious into actually gathering together and finding strength in who we truly are.
Right. Okay, other than Jupiter, so what are other biggest astrological shifts that we should also pay attention to?
I could go with a little bit of boring, like walk through the astrology transits, just like give a little explanation how it works and like why we look
Yeah.
at those. Planets, they move with different speed. And again, just in case someone is worried, I know that Sun is a star, Moon is what is called a satellite, and so on. But in astrology, we call all those planets. Yeah, just in case someone is worried. So yeah, astrologically planets, and they move with different speed, which means that they have different influence on us. And when we're talking about transits, we're looking at those who move slowly because then we can feel the impact.
Okay.
It's like I like to explain, for example, like when you hold a pen, yeah, in your hand, like I don't know, you raise it up. I mean, like when you hold it for a minute, doesn't make a difference, right? But if you have to hold it this way for one day, this pen will become a very heavy thing, right? So that's why we're looking for those transits which last long, because whatever they impact in the beginning, you're like, it's fine, everything's fine. And then, like it was in France, I'm pretty sure you've seen this meme where I'm fine, like when you're actually not fine. Yeah, so that's why we're looking at those long ones. And then when we understand how they influence us, even the knowledge why and what is happening to me, it helps to deal with it. First of all, it's not forever, and then you understand, like, why these things are happening in my life, what I need to learn. So we still have Saturn in Pisces throughout the whole year. And Saturn in Pisces, so the shift happened in like around the mid of 2025. And by now, I can tell that lots of people already experienced the burnout. And that's how Saturn influences this inability to rest. Some people, they don't allow themselves to rest because they feel they need to push harder. Yeah,
Yeah.
some people, they just are in circumstances when they cannot have a proper rest. Yeah,
Mm.
so depends on personal karma, but still, yeah, so this Saturn, it kind of like pushes us to the edge that we work with like all our energy. We're like doing a little bit too much. Like, yeah, so this tendency, it will keep going through the whole year, but this is nothing new, but this is something to pay attention to for everyone, especially for those who are already at the stage of burnout, when you feel unmotivated, when you feel that things are harder than it was before, when it's hard to wake up in the morning even though like you have to. So like yeah, if you have those signs, so you need to know that's Saturn. And Saturn teaches us discipline. And discipline not only in working, but also in resting, that we need to find a good balance in those. Every night when you go to bed, you charge your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone charges their phone when they sleep. Or for example, when you're driving your car, you think about, you look, it's like, okay, how much gas I have left.
Mm.
But somehow Saturn pushes people to the point where it's like, okay, I can keep going, I can keep going. And then you're in the middle of nowhere with no gas and you don't know what to do with it.
That's so true. I love the analogy. Yeah, it's so real. So okay, how long will Saturn still be in Pisces? I don't know. Like, is that even a question to ask?
Yes, that's the right question. So the whole 2026, Saturn will stay in Pisces, which means you really need to schedule some resting time
Mm.
on weekly basis, on monthly basis, and you need to look for time for vacation and you don't skip it. So if in your planner you have resting time, at this moment you don't skip and say, look, okay, right now I'm resting no matter what.
Yeah. So does it apply to everyone, like the whole world, or also depends on your own personal astrology chart?
Of course, a personal chart will give more clarity, but this tendency, it is still happening. I see lots of people getting to this stage just because they cannot find balance with Saturn energy, right? Because like oh, I just do a little bit more, and then they find themselves, like completely drained.
Mm.
So it's important to pay because some people they're great at keeping this balance. So they're not struggling with that. But lots of people, I see the tendency, it like shows up very vividly that like yeah, people are getting to burnout. So simple recommendation. You need to schedule your resting time and you need to follow the schedule. So you are not skipping it. This part is so important. I mean, like, probably this sounds like very basic things, but lots of people, I think they would resonate.
Yeah. No, totally. It's not basic. Like it sounds like impractical to me because like as a high achiever or someone who is always like doing, I need to schedule rest just like I schedule any other things, right? Like work commitments and other stuff. So yeah, okay. Enough about the challenges. Now, how about some of the good things? Because you mentioned in the very beginning that this will be a good year. So what are some of the amazing things that will be happening for us?
Okay, so with dates, right? Jupiter is an amazing planet which brings us a lot of good things. It brings us luck, it brings us wealth, it brings us spiritual development in a good way, right? So we still start the year with Jupiter in Gemini,
Mm.
and it's going to be until the 1st of June. So
Okay.
first 5 months Jupiter is going to be in Gemini. So it is still this energy of curiosity, of chasing, yeah, of learning, like this kind of like quite active, but at the same time, yeah, it is a good time for learning. So if for some reason people were, I don't know, busy, postponing or something, but wanted to learn something, this is a good time. This is a good time because like the learning process will go easy, and then there is a possibility that actually the options you have at this moment, these first 5 months, right, that they are good for you. They're quite beneficial because Jupiter, it brings benefits. So whatever comes to you, yeah, whatever opportunities to learn something come to you, they would bring you benefits later. Yeah, it's something good for you. So if you have an opportunity to invest your time and money sometimes, yeah, into learning, that's a good moment. Yeah. So then Jupiter will move to Cancer from the 2nd of June until 31st of October. So
Okay.
basically 5 months, yeah, June, July, August, September, and October. 5 months, Jupiter is going to be in Cancer, means an exaltation. So this is the moment when it's a very nurturing energy, very giving energy. So here, I still need to bring up that a lot will depend where this Jupiter transit in your chart, because for some people it would be that they will feel more confident and more fulfilled about who they are. For some people it will give money, for some people it will be expansion of career, so it depends which house it will be transiting. But for everyone, for sure, it will bring something.
Hmm.
So a few areas of your life, they will be, let's say, universally supported.
Love
For
that.
example, can I talk about you?
Sure.
Because if I'm not mistaken, that you are rising Scorpio, because I remember, yeah, you have Moon in your own sign in ninth house, and which is in Cancer. I remember charts, if not all the charts, but I still remember the details, even though
Wow.
it was like a year ago.
Wow.
But like, yeah, I have like a little computer in my head. I have to use it. I have to use it. Yeah. So for you, this Jupiter will be transiting through the ninth house. And first of all, it's the house of luck. So if any of you guys is a Scorpio rising or moon Scorpio, so then like, yeah, for you, this is going to be transit through the house of luck, which first of all means that like if you will make intentions, or like, that this is the transit when you can manifest things. And if those are your true desires, then actually things will be happening faster and easier for you. Yeah, so Jupiter will bring that kind of effect. And it also gives amazing support in the field of learning and teaching, and I would say in the spiritual field. So like, yeah, these kind of opportunities, they will come along. And we were talking about teaching a lot, that it's like something amazing for you, so I would say, yeah, maybe there will come like more opportunities that will unfold the opportunity for you to share your gift, because you do have gift in teaching.
Remember
And as
everything.
well,
Yes.
it supports writing routine. So like if you had an idea to write a book or something, so these 5 months, those would be incredible for you to actually put it in action and write a book.
That is great.
Hmm.
Yeah. Because if you remember, I told you, like, I asked you, um I have a goal or a dream rather, to publish my book one day, right? And I asked you, like, when would be the best time for me to write and publish my book. I feel like this year, a second half of the year might be a good time now that you bring it out. um
Just to
Carry
be
on.
clear, June, July, August, September, October. You have 5 months to do that.
Okay, 5 months to write and publish my book from scratch. Amazing. Totally possible,
I think
right?
it's enough. If you know what you're doing, that's more than enough.
You're right. Yeah, if you know what you're doing. Exactly. Okay. Anything else you want to add before, like, I ask my next question?
So that was like a little like overview how it works, for example, for Scorpios, right? So for
Yeah.
everyone it will be different. I would like to mention that like, whew, I think this week, which next week, yeah, what day is today? I'm sorry, I'm lost. Tuesday? No, is it
Yeah, Tuesday.
yes, yeah, so this week I'm starting forecast for zodiac signs. It's going to be on YouTube and it's going to be like available. So yeah, someone wants to have like a little bit more detailed overview, so they can come and watch it there, so that they
Okay.
will have more practical and more personalized suggestions. Yeah, so we're not wasting time here, because like for each one it's going to be like at least half an hour conversation, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, and then Jupiter at the end of the year, it will move to Leo,
Mm.
which again brings like a little bit different vibes, when people will feel like after getting back to their roots, they will feel that like, okay, I know who I am, I know where I'm going. So with all that, I'm going out there to society and I'm bringing those ideas. So yeah, it's a really nice process of development. So I think lots of people, they will find this growth through this year. As I just mentioned, depends in which area, but growth will be there, and it will be in a pleasant way, because we can grow from some challenges, or we can grow because opportunities come along. So this is like the opportunity type growth.
So Leo is happening in the end after Cancer. So Cancer will be, I thought Cancer will be until the 31st of December. So when is Leo
October.
gonna October? Okay. Okay, October, then Leo, November, December. Am I right?
Yeah, November, December, and I mean like the beginning of 2027, but we will talk about it in a year.
Yeah, we just started 2026, so let's hold on for a while. Okay, so because I know a lot of my listeners, they are like entrepreneurs, people like you and me, right? They run their own business. So are there any specific months or periods this year that are especially powerful or supportive in terms of launching maybe a new product, new courses, or pivoting, maybe they change their niche, or making like bold business decisions? When would be the good time?
Hmm. So here, unfortunately, I have to bring up that a lot depends on your personal planetary periods,
Okay.
because planetary periods, they form 80% of events, what's going on in your life, and
Hmm.
transits, they go for 20%. So if you have like majorly amazing period, then the transits, they add flavor to it. Yeah, so they rather like support it, or I don't know if it's something like challenging, so like things go a little bit slower. But like yeah, so if we're talking about some big important things, then we need to look at personal planetary periods and to see how it works, and if it's the time, or maybe sometimes it's worth to wait a little bit until the time is right, so that you don't waste like your money, because launches, they require money, and that you don't waste your energy and even your inspiration, because sometimes you feel like, oh my god, the idea is amazing, but at the same time your planetary period might not support it, and people again get frustrated, and they drop an idea which actually is good and it will work, but just the time needs to be aligned. But yeah, for some people it could be like amazing period, and then I would say like, oh, it's not only launching, but like try to think like how you can expand it, like maybe you need to like push even harder, because at this moment you can have like a massive growth. So a lot depends on your personal periods. But also I would like to mention that there is such thing as moon calendar, and
Mhm.
in moon calendar we have good days for launching, like in general, so like throughout the year, even throughout your periods, right? So there are some days which are very supportive, when energies are stronger and when they give support, and yeah, there are days when actually energy is very low, and like you're planting something but it's not happening. So knowing such details, yeah, such things you can see from the moon calendar. If I'm allowed to mention that, like I
Yeah.
create a moon calendar.
Yeah, I wanted to ask like where can we learn more about phone calendar?
Yeah, it's very nicely designed, because every day it has icons. And like from those icons, so the icons are launching the project,
Mm.
making business deals, yeah, big purchases. Then we have a lot about girls, like doing your nails, doing your hair, because it's important when you do that. You know, you can go to a salon and do your nails, and then like something happens, like they crack and stuff, or like your hair, it's like it goes wrong. But like yeah, I mean, like I do only during like suitable days, always, always.
No wonder you have nice nails and amazing hair.
Yeah, yes, because like yeah, I follow the routine. I mean, like if there is wisdom, why don't follow it? Yeah, so like girly things like that. Then we have like good days for trips, for traveling. Yeah, and again, sometimes people get confused. Like, okay, if I have to go, then like, what if it's a bad day? And I can tell you that when it's a good day, things go smooth. You don't worry about something. Yeah, but when it's a bad day, then you know about it in advance. And if you
Mm.
have to travel, then you just plan extra time, so that like yeah, like I don't know, like you leave to airport early, and you know that there could be like some delays or something. You get prepared with some snacks and stuff. So like you kind of like get prepared to those things. So even though it might not go well, but you're already prepared. So this is what astrology for. You get prepared. So when things go south, you don't feel frustrated, or I don't know, like
Yeah.
disappointed about those things. just because you are already prepared. So, and as visual icons, every day you can see if it's green, it means it's an amazing day for that. If it's black, it means it's like, yeah, it's okay. If there is no icon, it's like neutral. And if it's red, it means like no, absolutely no.
Like no to do anything at all. So when it's a bad day, what should we be doing?
Oh, usually, this. I mean, like if it's like absolutely red, because there are such days you look and like all icons are red, but then there would be like I don't know one green icon which is cleaning, for example. Be like one icon which says like spa day, so which means that like yeah, if everything is red, usually the vibes are to get a proper rest, which means
Mhm.
that like even though if you have to work, but then you do your minimum, like bare minimum, and then like you really make some time for some relaxation, maybe like yeah, you know about it in advance and you schedule massage in the evening, or even I don't know, you make yourself a nice bath when you come back from job. Yeah, so yeah, so you can get prepared to those things, and when you know in advance, it's much easier to deal with energies.
Well, I really love that. So when can we get? Do you do like sell these moon calendars, or how can we
So
download the moon?
it's an instant download PDF file. Yeah, and actually this year I decided to make it more informative. So in the beginning, it's like a mini book where you can read about like okay how moon phases work, how moon feels in different zodiac signs. So if you want to have like a little overview of like how these things influence how they work, different energies of different days of the week. So there is like a literally a mini book which you
Hmm.
can read and like yeah, become a little bit more aware and knowledgeable about how you can use the energies to help yourself. Because
Yeah.
like some days I'm pretty sure like if you are aware, if people are like more attentive to the way they feel, they notice that some days you feel like super pumped and it's like so easy to do things, and other days like you have things planned and you're like oh, I
Yeah.
just cannot I cannot finish it. So like yeah, when you know those things in advance, you plan accordingly.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty of astrology, because you can plan ahead. You know what is coming or what is happening. Like why, when you wake up and you just feel like not doing anything, right? It's not about you, maybe, right? It's about, yeah, the stars, the moon. You can blame the stars, the moon, but not yourself, and just take it easy on yourself. So okay, for people who felt stuck, for maybe for many years, of course it depends on their personal chart as well. But again, if they have been feeling stuck for many years, or out of alignment, I would say, maybe not stuck, but out of alignment, um, because they have not looked into the astrology, I don't know, like with you. So what kind of reset or opportunities does this year offer, and what can they do about it to be in alignment with who they are?
So first of all, of course, there will be this Jupiter transit, which will help. I mean, like we cannot
Mm,
tell in which area, but like anyway, at least
okay.
something will go better in these 5 months. So like
Mm,
yeah, because when something goes better, you start feeling more excited, like more inspired, and when you like feel this energy moving, then you kind of like start getting better, like doing better in like other areas of your life. So, yeah, first of all, I want to say that, like, yeah, you will feel a little bit easier, lighter, and like more aligned with yourself, like more fulfilled. And
mm,
this will help. So, it's like really something to look forward to. But then, look, I would like to bring up, we didn't discuss this Rahu Ketu, because Rahu Ketu, those are karmic planets. And these karmic planets, they bring us lessons. And like, yeah, every time it is something to look into, look deeper into yourself, yeah, and develop something. So those who feel stuck, who don't feel aligned, and this Rahu Ketu transit, it's about how I can serve the community. So when you feel stuck, it's the moment for you to go out to people who you like, who you enjoy, like community, the vibes, or something. And I could phrase it even this way, like start asking questions like how I can be a help, because everyone has talents, everyone has skills, everyone has experience. And even if not, everyone has time. Sometimes just like, like being there for someone doing some very simple things, that's already a help. But yeah, it's like a very basic thing. But everyone has talents, and like everyone can be helpful. And from finding this opportunity to help other people on a community level, right? This will make a shift. Instead of sitting and focusing that like, oh, I'm not doing good, or I am feeling stuck. Yeah, so see, instead of I, what I can do for you, for the community, we.
Yeah.
So shift the focus from, I don't know, I cannot find the path. Or like I feel miserable. I feel, I don't know, a failure or something like this. Yes, there could be a lot of different feelings, guilt, failure, or something. Yeah, like I'm not enough. I know, like being depressed, and usually it's because all the focus it goes on I. But when you go out there and you see that, like, okay, actually, even with my time, I can be helpful. And like, yeah, it brings this sense of like, okay, wait, somewhere I'm needed, somewhere I'm valuable. And from there, it builds up this confidence. And like, yeah, it could bring you to incredible projects. So start thinking collectively, like how, still I, but like, yeah, how I can
Yeah.
serve, how I can serve the community. And I would like to bring an example and inspiration. It really, I was like, wow, that's a really nice guy. I'm pretty sure you've heard about Zohran Mamdani. He's a new mayor of New York. And yeah, when he won, there was a huge resonance. First of all, because he's Muslim.
Right.
People were like a little bit afraid, and like, I don't know, they had very mixed feelings about his religion, but it's not about his religion. So if anyone wants to feel inspired, I would say look at him and at how he built his campaign, what he did. He is a New Yorker. He is the person who grew up there. And he was walking door to door, talking to people and asking, what are your problems? How I can make your life better? And I'm having goosebumps. Yeah, because he is a very inspiring politician, and he's a rare kind, but he's an inspiration. So, yeah, and he was talking to the community, and he was like, yeah, I'm one of us, I'm the same, and like I know these problems, so let's kind of like clear them up, and like let's see what I can do about it. And maybe even if he wouldn't fulfill all the promises, but the fact that he is sincerely interested in making the lives of other people better, and he really wants to serve, so that made him win.
Mm.
And that created a huge because he, again, like he kind of like popped up pretty much out of blue. Like
Yeah.
a few years ago, nobody knew about him, but this desire to serve. So he's like definitely living this like Rahu Ketu axis when he's like, okay, I'm here to serve the community. And that's how politicians supposed to be. So if you are an entrepreneur, think about the community, go and talk to people. Yeah. And when you talk to people, see how you can make their lives better with your skills and experience. And that will be a huge shift.
Okay. So is it going to be happening throughout the year, or there's there are periods as well for Rahu and Ketu?
So yeah, this transit is until the very end of 2026. So until 25th of November. So yeah, for the whole year, especially if you feel stuck, do that.
Okay, got it. Now, for people who are listening, if they want to start their year intentionally, so what practices or rituals or tools or mindset shift would you recommend, based on or not maybe, of the astrology of 2026?
Mhm. So I would say, in my opinion, okay, this is my personal opinion, okay? So I would say go offline. So
Hmm.
spend like 3 days, I don't know, you can find 2, 3 days, pretty sure, and spend them offline, somewhere in nature. If you can go for a retreat, That would be nice because there would be like some guidance. Yeah, maybe you feel that you can do it by yourself, or I don't know, like if you don't have opportunity to sign up for retreat, do it for yourself. I don't know, just like go to some simple place somewhere in the nature, turn off your phone completely so that you don't have any incoming information. Why I'm suggesting it, so the goal is to get connected with your true self. So without incoming information, being in the nature, just like doing some simple hikes or something, just walks and something like this, right? With these kind of things. And then just like try to get connected to who you truly are. Yeah, so that nothing influences you, nobody is telling you this or that, nobody is like showing their successful success in Instagram or something, that you are there just with yourself. And like, yeah, for some people it might take longer, but like, yeah, if you have an opportunity, make this opportunity to just be there with yourself. And then like after a while, when you find this like stillness and calmness, this, like sparks of who you truly are, what you truly want, they will just start popping. So it's not about like thinking intensively what I want and how I want, but it's about just like, letting go all of it and just like be very present. And then in some moments, those ideas, they will just start popping. And from there, you will find much more clarity instead of intensely thinking, like, how should I think? How should I plan things? Yeah. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, from this stillness, from this quietness, from this connection to nature and to yourself, your intuition, it will unfold, and you will get more true and deeper answers than you could have from like intensive thinkings.
Yeah, I love that. How about goal setting? Because as we start the year, a lot of people are just trying to set goals for the year, like we all do, right? New Year's resolution, but we all know that it doesn't work. But setting goals, how about, do you have any advice for people to go about setting goals that truly align with who they are? Like, yeah, do you have any advice on goal setting?
Again, I would say it's about meditating. Yeah, so it's about calming your mind and like really waiting for what will pop up from
Okay.
within. Because nowadays we are so overloaded with information. That is why sometimes it's really, really hard to hear what you have to say. That's why, like, yeah, meditation is like when you sit and you just, yeah, some people they get confused about, okay, how do I meditate? So I would say do it as a daily practice. Set up timer for 10 minutes, sit down and just focus on the sensations in your body. If we're talking about the goals, I would say like, okay, so it has to come from your heart. So just focus on your heart area. Imagine that there is something beautiful, some spark, I don't know, a diamond, whatever feels valuable for you, the sunshine, that it is, like developing in your heart, and try to keep focus on that. And after all, as I said, after a while, some ideas, they will arise, but from your heart. Yes, so that you will start feeling that like, oh, okay, this feels right, this feels something like, when this idea pops, I feel that my heart is expanding, that the warmth is like strengthening. Yes, so from there, because that would be like the best way to set up goals, because when you do it from your mind, most of the time it's an illusion, but from the heart, that will be true goal. But it takes time. It takes time. Don't
Yeah.
expect to sit for 5 minutes and like have those. Yeah, maybe like at least 1 month of like getting connected to yourself on a daily basis, and along the way you will receive a lot of answers. But
Mm,
it's a work which needs to be done.
yeah. Yeah, it's a work. So thank you so much for that. Now, if you had just, I know you shared a lot of beautiful messages throughout the conversation, but if you had to give just one key message for people who are listening today, or guide a questions that should be asking themselves right now to carry with them throughout 2026, what would it be?
I was thinking, I was like, okay, what should it be? What should be the catchphrase? So go back to your roots.
Okay. And then,
Whatever it means for you, whatever it means for you. But like, yeah, find what it is for you. What are your roots? I mean, like, we're speaking about ancestors and these kind of things, but like, yeah, go back to your roots.
Yeah, I was thinking like, yeah, do you mean by ancestors that I have to go back to the country that I came from? Like, like, you know. But I think what you mean is it's about who you truly are, like connect with.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, got it.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
by doing that, go offline, spend 3 days in nature and without your phone and just connect with yourself. I believe that's the way of doing it. For sure.
absolutely. That would be like the best way to do it. Everyone can afford it. Like 2 3 days somewhere. I mean, like, you can do it.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is that the problem is people can't afford to be not without their phones. You know, that's the thing they cannot afford to do. It's not they don't have the money. It's not they don't have the luxury, but it's like they can't afford to not be with their phones, and that's so sad.
Well, the world will not collapse if for 2 days you will turn off your phone. I mean, like, yeah. Unfortunately, most of us are not that important that, like, if we're not accessible, the world collapses. So, yeah, starting
Yeah,
from there. So, yeah, we can do it. And again, like, it doesn't mean that you have to go to like expensive hotel or something or whatever. Not at all. I mean, like, even if you don't have an opportunity to have a nice hike or something, there are parks everywhere. There are parks.
yeah,
You can go to a park and spend day in a park. I don't know, just like walking, maybe not the whole day, like half of the day, but like, yeah, somewhere in the nature. And I'm pretty sure that like there are some nature areas which you can reach. I mean, like, yeah, like during the daytime, like you can find the way. There is
yeah.
nature, but nature, it really recharges us. In a consultation a few days ago, the woman, she was asking, but what is it about this nature? Like, why nature recharges us? And I was like, that's how we were built. Like, yeah, we're one. We are the part of nature, so we are the part of ecosystem, and that's why nature, it cares about us.
Mm,
So when we are there without all these technologies, we actually get like very properly recharged by just walking around, I don't know, like looking at the beauty that, yeah, the nature created. I don't know, it depends on region. I sniff all the flowers when I'm walking, like every flower I'm sniffing them. But like in some areas there is winter, so you cannot do that. But I don't know, you can play with the snow. Yeah, you can build a snowman or something. I mean, like, you can find the activities to have fun and be present in the moment, and that will be a good recharging process. And at the same time, as I said, so when your mind is not preoccupied with all these thoughts, it's like, oh, I'm gonna survive this year. So when you are in this very present moment, then some genius, like truly genius and like very yours ideas, they start popping up.
that is amazing. Thank you so much for everything. But is there anything else that you perhaps you really wanted to share and I didn't ask you or didn't let you?
Oh, I didn't prepare myself for this question. I think we covered like a lot of topics, and like, yeah, I would say connection to yourself and knowing who you truly are. That's the biggest help you can do for yourself in life. Because when you know who you are, then despite the circumstances, you know what's your path. Because paths are different.
Mm,
And like, yeah, sometimes when we look at other people and you're like, oh my god, like, why I'm not doing that, or why I'm not doing this, or maybe I should try this. And like, it brings like a lot of confusion and also this like hectic movements. But when you start from who you are, right, again, like I'm referring to, at least meditating and like finding yourself rooted in like in yourself, if I can phrase it. So yeah, so then when you look at others, when you look at circumstances, you don't feel confused. You know that, like, okay, wait, this is exciting, this is cool, that's really inspiring, but this is not my path. I know my path, and I keep walking it. And like, yeah, and then you feel very calm in your mind, very peaceful, and you feel satisfied. All starts from who you are. When you know that, of course, like, probably I suppose to bring that astrology helps to like find the pieces of the puzzle. Or
yeah.
sometimes things are confusing. Sometimes we need to have some knowledge. because like, yeah, I don't know, like if you've never seen a pen and I show you and you're like, okay, what is this? Same thing is like if something is happening, some pattern is happening to you, but you don't know what it is, like you're not aware that such things exist, then it's sometimes not so easy to understand it, like to navigate it. Yeah, such things happen. But still, yeah, through meditation, through connection, you can do a lot of great job, like great investment into your future.
Yeah. And I must say or share this with my listeners because I did a session with you, and I think it's if you're feeling confused or just stuck or feeling miserable, I don't know. Sometimes having a session or conversation with someone like you brings like a higher level insights overview of your entire life, and that was when I believe I reached out to you because I was feeling like stuck or like I lost myself, and it's just such a powerful reminder to remind me this is who I am, right? This is Joyan Chan, and this is what I'm here to do. Like this is my purpose, this is my path. And I just want to share that with my listeners. So if they are, I don't know, feeling confused or lost or stuck in patterns for years, it's so really helpful to book a session with someone like you, to read your own chart. And so tell my people where, if they want to work with you or book a session, what do you offer right now? I remember you also had a astrology course that you wanted to like launch. I would love to hear about that. Like, have you launched it already, and how can
I
people?
did. I
Oh,
did. And actually, that was my 2025. I call it the year of sacrifice. And I'm also that kind of person who eventually got pretty much to a burnout because, like, yeah, I dedicated the whole year to recording and teaching the course because it was like with students and we had like very intense schedule, so like yeah, the course does exist. And I would say with my level of perfectionist, I would say I'm like pretty much 80% happy about it, like happy enough that I don't feel that I have to re-record it.
so how can people access the course and join the course?
Okay, so okay, but about the consultation stuff. First of all,
Yeah.
like yeah, you can always pop a message in Instagram, for example, which is sasha.shine.bright, or like maybe there will be a link. And like yeah, if I have questions, I'm like super happy to talk them through. And like yeah, because sometimes people feel confused, like how things are happening. But like yeah, as well, there is website where you can basically like sign up for a consultation, or you read a little bit more about the course and sign up for the course, because I think the next group will be when we will have like a few students that signed up, maybe like February, March. Yeah, that will be the beginning, like the second group. Yeah, it's not that like you do it by yourself, because after every month we have a webinar where we practice, so I can see how the students are going, like the progress, and that I can help them understand better, like in a practical way. So it's not only that you're listening to the lessons and you're trying to do something by yourself. No, like the students, they are supported along the way in the chat, and once a month we have like a really good proper practice so that they feel confident at the end of the course. And after finishing, it could be just for yourself, or you will be very skilled and the knowledge will be absolutely sufficient to start consulting.
Wow. Okay. So this is like a certification course.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Okay.
like with yoga teacher training, like you can do it for yourself, but if you want to teach after, then like you're supposed to be capable of doing that. So same system here. Yeah, I didn't want to simplify it for just personal use. I wanted to give all the depth that like if you want to be and again, like it doesn't have to be purely astrologer, because lots of people, they work in helping field, and like coaches, like different therapists and stuff. So when you open the chart, it tells you a lot about the person who is in front of you,
Right.
which can really strengthen your practice. So like yeah, you don't have to waste your time on like figuring things out, because you already see where the problem is, so you can address it immediately. It will kind of like strengthen your practice and like expand your skills, and you will be more efficient, so you will bring results faster, and the results will be deeper for the clients. So it doesn't always necessarily need to be like purely astrology.
Got it. Yeah. So awesome. Thank you so much. Yes, I'll put the links, your website, your Instagram details in the show note below. I just wanted to say thank you so much again for coming, and I'm so happy to reconnect with you again. And so yeah, I hope we can come back again every year. Like this is a ritual for us, to do it every year. Yeah, I'm feeling so inspired right now, and I might just book a session with you after this. Like I just wanted to know like what this year is about, and like really go into the details. So yeah, I might just book a session with you, and I encourage my listeners to do the same as well. So thank you again for returning and for coming back. Do you have any like parting words for my listeners before we end?
I'm just really, really grateful for being here and for such opportunity. So thank you very much to you and to all the listeners as well. And yeah, just have an amazing year. Go there and live your life. It doesn't matter what it brings, just like live it through and enjoy it. We are here to enjoy it.
Yes, such a powerful reminder and totally aligns with the show, which is all about joy and happiness. So go out and live your life. And if you have any questions, you can leave a comment below, or you can reach out to Sasha directly, personally. And here is to a year full of alignment, growth, and joy. And until next time, keep showing up and following your path and finding joy every step of the way. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you again next Wednesday. Bye.
Bye bye.
Thank you again for tuning into Find Joy Joyan podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, take a screenshot and share it on your IG story and tag Find Joy Joyan _podcast so I know you are listening. And leave us a positive review on Apple Podcasts if you haven't already done so. And remember to hit the subscribe button whether you are listening on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, or any of your other favorite platforms. If you love what we are doing and want to become one of our sponsors, you can send me a DM to connect. And thanks for being here. I will see you soon in the next episode.